Hey guys, in today's video we're talking about detitling a manufactured home. Let's get started. Welcome back. This is Silvana with Baez Properties at Keller Williams in Seneca. I'm so excited today to be with Michael Bagwell with Bradley K. Richardson Law Firm here in town in Oconee County and Pickens County and Anderson County. They cover all counties here. Michael, thank you so much for meeting me today. And in today's video, we want to talk about a very interesting topic because if you want to buy or want to sell a manufactured home, hashtag mobile home, not everybody wants to call them mobile homes, but that's, pretty much everybody knows it as a mobile home, but it's better to refer as a manufactured home. There are a couple of things that you really need to know before heading to that point. And sometimes we don't really know, and when we are as an agent, we go and meet with you, with that client that has that type of property. We need to know certain steps that they have to have, right, Michael?
Right, so the first step with a mobile home, if you're selling one of those, you've got to decide if there's still a title to the mobile home or if it's been detitled. And what detitled means, there's a process you go through with the county the mobile home's in, as well as the DMV. And they'll actually treat the property and the mobile home together, so they combine it with the property. It's treated like your normal stick-built home at that point, and so the title to the mobile home actually transfers with the deed. There's a few processes you have to do for that. If you don't have it detitled, then you do have a separate mobile home title, much like a car title, and then you actually have to bring that to closing and sign it over. So the first step is either make sure you've got the title if it's not been detitled, or has it been detitled. And just because that the property and the mobile home are taxed together, that does not mean it's been detitled. Oconee County has that especially. A lot of people say, well, I'm paying one tax bill, so it's detitled. That's not necessarily true. There are processes you can take to make sure it's been detitled. The best one is if you know the serial number of that mobile home. It is usually either in the breaker box or in the actual kitchen cabinet somewhere, and sometimes on the side outside of the mobile home. But if you have that VIN number, you can go to the local DMV and have them search the title, and they'll give you a printout, and it'll either say current title real estate or it'll say current title and tell you whose name that title's in. If you get that printout and you find out it's not your name, there's a little more work we're gonna need to do, but that's something we need to have ahead of the process before you go under contract to sale.
And pretty much before we sign a listing agreement to be able to sell it, just to save some time, correct?
That's right. Yeah, you always want to make sure they either have the title and it's in their name or it's been detitled. So I will tell you, back in the 90s, everything was done wrong on these. It was just the process back then, but unfortunately that process was not correct. We probably see about 5 closings a year where the mobile home is not in the current seller's name.
Wow.
Got to jump through a few more hoops before we can close that. Anytime you get the DMV involved, it is going to take a couple more weeks than you probably used to, so we got to plan ahead and go ahead and get started on that before you go under contract.
Okay, and is this something that you guys help to detitle, or?
It is. So there are not a lot of law firms that actually do mobile homes anymore, so we are one of the few that still do that in most counties. Now there's a few, we have some criteria of what we need before we'll agree to detitle a mobile home in certain counties. Oconee County, they require an inspection before you can detitle it, so we have to have that inspection done before closing. Another big thing to look at is what lender do you have. You need to make sure you ask the lender, can you detitle in conjunction with closing? Essentially what that means is we get to sign all the detitle documents at closing, but really detitle it after closing. Now that does require your seller to have the title in their name and bring that mobile home title to the closing, but it does generally take about 6 to 8 weeks to detitle a mobile home. So if you're going under contract for a quick close, we may can detitle in conjunction with closing, which means still closing your 30-day limit, but then go ahead and do the detitle afterwards. But that's all up to the lender. So most of your local lenders here will let you detitle in conjunction with. There are a couple lenders that don't, and they have certain criteria of when they will let you. So that's something to definitely check with your lender before you actually sign and have a closing date sign up, just because we may not be able to meet that if we've got a detitle before closing.
Okay, and did you recommend to have the property detitled even though if they're paying cash?
So paying cash, it really is up to the buyer at that point. If they think they ever need to move the mobile home, you probably don't have to detitle it. If you plan on keeping the mobile home there, it may be good to go ahead and get it detitled. What's going to help you on the detitle process is there are some lenders that will not lend on the mobile home at all. So at that point, if you have it detitled, it's treated like a stick-built home, you open yourself up to more buyers because all their lenders will accept them at that point.
Okay.
So that's probably your biggest benefit, is you may open your market to future sellers, but it's not necessarily something you have to do when you buy it at that point being cash. If you decide you want to put it on the market 2 years from now, before you put it on the market, you may want to look at detitling at that point. But most of our cash closings, we don't detitle them at closing, but 2 years later, they may come back to us and have us do it at that point when they go to sale.
Okay, perfect. You see, guys, it's a lot of information to know before you guys listing the property, or if you're buying a manufactured home, what you need to know. And hopefully you have a great agent that is telling you all these steps that you have to be involved in this process. But anyway, Michael, thank you so much for sharing this great information with us, because sometimes people don't know and they think, it's going to be easy to buy a manufactured home, and sometimes you gotta just follow certain steps, and of course you're gonna be able to own one of those properties. All right? Thank you, Michael. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. This is Silvana with Buys Properties at Keller Williams in Seneca. See you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.